Good morning, everyone. How are you doing today? Let me know how you are doing. Welcome to the Calmie African Diary Show, right here on the Black Hot Fire Network Media for the 21st century. And finally, we are almost coming to the end of the week. You know how much I am looking forward to that. And of course, I appreciate everyone who will get to tune in. I also appreciate everyone who might miss that opportunity, but we got you covered. You can simply get to watch some of these and more by simply logging on to www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. And once you are logged in, you can actually proceed and get to watch some of the videos. You can like these videos, you can share some of these videos. You can also proceed and get to listen to the music. You can also proceed and get to read some of the blogs. Remember, we have been talking about the reading culture, never stopping, irrespective of how versatile you are. Well, on this particular day, we are always used that on Tuesdays and Thursdays is when I get, to like show you around what I'm doing with my time and my day. And today, Kay Williams, today I hope you'll be of course happy because today I'm not doing any shopping. Today I've just been cleaning and I just visited the salon. I'm here back. So today is just all indoors for me. I've been cleaning and yeah, here I am. To Ricardo Bradford, welcome and good morning. And thank you for tuning in to the Calm African Diary Show. And today there's just a lot of things that I would love us to talk about. And of course, I'm looking forward to hearing your views because there's just a lot of things that are happening out here, and I thought it's wise today just get to like a talk a little bit. But let me know how you are doing here in Nairobi. It's a pretty much yes, it's sunny, yes, and you can hear from outside. You can hear from outside there's some welding taking place. I mean, so much common near my apartments. It's so much common near my apartments. Some welding is taking place, but then again, it's all about activities of the day. And Rika, you have asked, good morning, Calmie from America. How is your day? My day is fine, or rather, my day has been fine, considering that it is already 4 p.m., so I count this day already down. Looking forward to tomorrow, and that is definitely going to be a wrap for me. But yes, to Ricardo, my day is fine. Let me know if your day is also fine. And I want to remind us, guys, remember the Tanzanian tour that is set to take place next month. We have been talking about that. It is here, it is happening. So if you are not, I don't think you're still late, but depends, it's just the schedule. If you're not late, remember, I can get to contact Kip and he will give you the way forward regarding that. That is, he'll get to update you on what to do. Personally, I'm just looking forward. I'm just pretty much excited to this tour because it's one thing that I got from Tanzania. That is this one souvenir that I got from Tanzania. And if you can see, can it show clearly? Just behind me, there's some shells hanging. There's just some shells hanging over there. If you can see, do I get to hide my face? Yeah, if you can see just behind me there. There's some shells are hanging, and there that is also part of my souvenir. But those are shells, I got them from Mombasa the last time I was in Mombasa. I just love collecting shells. I believe it is a very good activity. It is sort of mind blowing because different shells have different patterns, and also different shells, if they were given the opportunity to like go ahead and talk, trust me, they do have a lot of information that they could tell mankind, information that will get to shock mankind. So in terms of Tanzania, this is the souvenir that I got. You can see, let me just yeah, let me just put this like this. I'm not zooming it nicely. Okay, this is my souvenir all the way from Tanzania. You can see it's unique, different shells. I put them in this wonderful vase, and I really love them. So you can get to collect some of these. And my friends, most of the time, they're like, oh, assist me with one. Oh, I need one of the shells to go decorate my house. I'm like, you need to go travel. You need to go get yourself your own shells and decide how you decorate them. So some people who actually have a fish pond, they have gone ahead and put this in their fish pond or in the a tiny aquarium. But for me, I just love it in a vase. You can see it's the different types of shells. That is what I've told you, that we do have a lot of activities you can simply get to do in Tanzania. One thing that I love is collecting shells by the ocean, and trust me, they usually just it's more like I'm playing. It's more like I'm playing like a young girl, and it's more like something good to me. So there's a lot of activities you can simply get to do in Tanzania apart from shell collecting. You can also get we are set to tour different places. There's the slave market. There is a market where you can get to enjoy some more of African cuisines, and of course, feel free, because trust me, you need here in Kenya you have some, you need some anti-acids with you for you to, like try and maintain not to overeat. And Ricardo said it's morning in America, it's good morning Africa. It's a good morning Africa. Oh, thank you so much. Just and most of the time I keep forgetting that I actually keep forgetting that the time difference that you do have. But yes, thank you for reminding me that at Ricardo. Also, there's one souvenir, but this one I did not get from Tanzania. But there was a time back then I went, of course, just traveling around in the country, and there was this museum, and they gave me this. It's called a Chinga Chinga. If you can see, let me just zoom this. It's called a Chinga Chinga, and the Chinga Chinga. This is actually a game that you can play with your family. It is a game. It is a game art all the way from Tanzania. So you can see, as much as you might not find this in your country, you can get to maybe buy some of this in Tanzania. This is a game that I love to play. It's called Tinga Tinga. Let me just zoom it. It is actually more like an art game. You can get to play this with your family, and its originality is all the way from Tanzania. So you can see I have a lot of souvenirs actually around here with me that I get to play around with. This is when you get to open the box of the Tinga Tinga. I remember today it's all about just it's an easy day, as much as you get to talk about what is trending. But as this is just let me just show you some of the cards. This is just some of the tiny cards. You can see it's an animal cards. So this game is just basically collecting as many cards as possible, and the cards have too much, because some of them they get to contain a different animal. Some of them get to contain something African. For example, this one contains a chicken. Remember, this game is all the way from Tanzania. This one contains a chicken. Most of them, the outside is like this. The outside is sorry, just zoom my camera. The outside is like that, but here is on the inside. So you need to collect as many animals as possible. Remember, it is all about culture, and we have been known Africans to love eating chicken. So of course, this is still all the way this is still all the way from Tanzania, and it's called the Chinga Chinga game. Let me just show you. It has a lot of varieties. It's not only about wild animals, it's also about African heritage. That is also one thing. You can see it's still more of a card, and it keeps me going. Trust me, this is one game that you can never be bored with. Whenever I'm just lonely and I feel like I need to do something with myself, I just get to play some little bit of these cards all the way from Tanzania. And let me just look for something perhaps a little bit African, such that you can see it also gets to speak a lot in terms of African information. For example, this is more like an African festival. This is more like an African festival. If you can, why is my camera acting up? Okay, this is more like an African festival. If you can see, they are all done in African designs and different prints. So it's more like it's a very actually captivating game, and you can still get it all the way from Tanzania. But as for me, didn't get it from Tanzania, but I just got it in Kenya. This is also speaks a lot about the human mind. This also gets to speak a lot about the human mind. Yeah, there you go. This actually gets to speak a lot about the human mind. So it's just not normal cards, but this is so unique. It's so unique cards. This also gets to speak about the African woman, if you can see. If I was to show you all the cards, trust me, each card is basically very unique. It's all about heritage. It's all about wildlife, because that is what we Africans, we are all about. So of course you can remember to join us on this great tour all the way to Tanzania, because it is all about wildlife. It is all about African culture. So there is just a lot of activities that you can basically get to enjoy. Karibuni sana to the Calmie African Diary Show. I know some other time I'll maybe be out there shopping, but today is just an easy day for me, and I'm just taking this time off to like get to evaluate myself, considering that tomorrow is actually my birthday. So I'm just trying to be as easy as possible, because I do not want any negative of course energy flowing my way. But family, let me know your view regarding that, and I am about to update you on what is happening here in Kenya. Let me start with Kenya, and let me know your view regarding this. That you know, last year 2020 we didn't have the al-Shabaab attacks on the rise in the country, and at some point I was like, hey, I think the al-Shabaab have just I decided to be good at the end of the day, because back in 2018, back in 2019, in the country, you would actually be afraid that you might board a bus and it might blow off, in the middle of the traffic. You are actually afraid that you might just leave your house in the morning and not return in the evening. Those are some of the things that are making people so afraid. You are even actually afraid that you might just go to a hotel to have fun with your family, with your relative, or whomever you've chosen to go to that hotel with, and not come back home. But after some time I felt like the government was dealing with terror once and for all, because we do have the Kenya Defense Forces troops in places like Somalia, in places like in places like Somalia, and they have been trying to bring a stability sorry, in that particular area for once. But the moment that we did have this KDF, we in abbreviations we call them the KDF, that is the Kenya Defense Forces, I got to realize that the increase in terror activities in the country was on the rise. So recently, forget about 2020, because 2020 didn't have those attacks as much as the previous years. So this year there was a bus that was going there's a region that is called Marsabit. Marsabit is just not far from Somalia, and the bus actually blew up. So you can imagine, it was a bus that was carrying children, families, just the people out there trying to make a living and so on, and it blew off. And of course, I didn't just blow off any maybe because that the bus was had any mechanical malfunction or something like that. It blew off because there was an active bomb that was planted on the road. And I think that the government of Kenya is sad with this story, because after it blew off, the government of Kenya has ordered, you do have two big camps, two big refugee camps in the country, and most of the people in these refugee camps, they come from countries like Somalia. Some of them are refugees, some of them are seeking asylum in Kenya, and we do have the government of Kenya. Now I want you to tell me if this is really fair. We do have now the government of Kenya, in terms of trying to curb terror activities, because personally I would be afraid that I might be in a bus and it just gets to blow off. So we do have the government of Kenya closing, or rather giving a notice, a 14-day notice, to these two leading refugees in the country. And I'm talking about the Kakuma and the Dadaab refugee camp in the country. These two camps are believed, of course, most of the people in this camp, they are actually, refugees from Somalia, and some of them they are, of course, from Somalia seeking asylum in Kenya. And the government of Kenya believes that, that a majority of, youths that are being recruited into this, of course, terror activities do get to come from this camp. So as a result, the government of Kenya has ordered the closure of these camps within 14 days. Now, here is the information that I just want to know your view regarding this. That the closure of this camp might lead to quite a lot of information. 14 days of closure, and these people, remember, they do not have a place to go. These people, remember, they do not have they do not have, maybe relatives in the country, and not everyone in this camp actually is indulging in terror activities. So my view regarding this, considering that it is known to be the biggest camp, actually to be the third largest camp in the world, you can imagine the number of refugees that this camp has. And the government of Kenya has seen that the solution to the terror activities is by closing these two camps. That is the Dabab camp and also the Kakuma camp. And as much as I want, terror activities to be reduced, as much as I want terror activities that is to be done away with once and for all, I think it's turning out to be quite crazy. Because we cannot have children, now living out there in the streets, becoming beggars and doing things like that. It is not going to end up well. And I think for a fact that if the government of Kenya goes ahead and get to release these people to the streets, trust me, the certain terror activities might take place in the country. So I believe, or rather, I'm just hoping that the government of Kenya should really take its time in deciding the fate of some of these individuals, that is, of the refugees. I don't know your view regarding that. Do you think that the closure of these two refugee camps, that is the Dabab camp and the Kakuma camp, do you think that by the government are closing these camps, that is the solution to terror activities? At K Williams, hi K Williams, you say what's up, Calmie? Hope all is well today. Absolutely, all is well at K Williams. And that, I was just begging myself not to go outside and get to buy anything else. But anyway, today's just it's just been an easy day for me. I've just been doing laundry and getting my hair done. It's just been an easy day for me, so I'm all easy. And I want to know your view regarding this, that the Kenyan government is closing down two largest, actually the third largest camps in the world that are located in Kenya, because they believe that some of these camps are centers whereby youths get to be easily, bought by these Al-Shabaab, that is by terror activities, and they get to indulge into terror activities. Do you think that this is the solution out? Do you think that is the solution out? Because I'm just thinking that a lot may turn out worse. Because let me tell you, between you and me, if you happen to leave your house, come back in the evening, at least you do have something that you always get back to, that is at home. But if you happen to find yourself in a situation whereby you've left whatever place you slept, and only for you to come back and realize that you have nowhere to call home. So the first thing that will come to your mind, is you going out there and robbing someone, is that you going out there and taking the deal that is given to you, that is taking the deal in terms of indulging into any terror activities. And this is basically what I am seeing that is set to take place in the country if the government is not keen with the decision that is about to make in terms of the closure of these huge refugee camps in the country. Yes, I understand that we have been affected by terror activities for quite a long time, but I think that the decision that the government is set to make is not quite the right way. And as Kay Williams said, okay, you look nice today, that's right. No shopping, save your money, lol. Yes, of course, I agree with you, Kay Williams. Trust me, most of the time it's just taking a few things, considering that from the place that I come from that is from this estate, for you to get most of the commodities that you need at a friendly price, you need to at least go a distance of about 4 kilometers or 2, or starting from 2 kilometers for you to get what you need. So that is why most of the time you get to see me out there trying to buy things in bulk, because I know when I come back here it's not going to be easy at all. But thank you so much to everyone who is tuned in. Remember, this is the Calmie African Diary Show, and today we are just not going out in the streets, but we are talking about some of the things that are happening in a society. Let me know regarding the fact that our own government of Kenya believes that the way forward in curbing terror activities is by the closure of the refugee camps. And trust me, some of these people, they did not wish to find themselves in these refugee camps. I'm talking about even the refugee camps that you do have in the country since the 2007 post-election violence that claimed lives of thousands of Kenyans. Since 2007, we've had politicians. They have used individuals in the refugee camp as as one of how do I get to put it? They've used, of course, individuals in the refugee camps as one of the that is in terms of their manifestos. That put them in terms of their manifestos. They're like, oh, we're going to give them land, houses, and so on. But this has never happened, and I can imagine the type of a tough condition that people are actually experiencing in these refugee camps. So you can imagine if they are rendered now absolutely homeless, it will mean that they will go from house to house and get to terrorize people. It will mean that whoever is ready to give them that it will mean that whoever is ready, to like pay them any amount of money for them to conduct any crime, including killing people, including planting bombs and so on, they are ready to do that. Trust me, I believe that those times when you're just so broken, you're like, hey, I wish I could just get money from somewhere else. But so you can imagine. So you can imagine that perhaps you're broke, or you haven't done your rent, maybe kids' school fees is there waiting for you, and you have this person who is giving you $1 million or something close to that, and they are telling you that all you need to do is to go to that public park and get to plant this bomb and let it detonate and kill as many people as possible, and you get your pay. Trust me, you will take that money and do it. Personally, I'm sorry to say, I wouldn't mind doing it, because the level of poverty that you'll get to push you, the level of take a look at how miserable your life is, and you're like, let me just do this thing maybe once, and perhaps I'll be able to feed myself. That is the situation that most individuals in the refugee camps have found themselves in. At a Blackwood Fire Network, you said, look at Calmie pretty self. Thank you at a Blackwood Fire Network, and thank you for tuning in. And just talking about the situation that you do have here in the country. But family, remember to give me your views regarding this if you think that is the way forward. And remember, today we're just giving you, or rather, I'm just giving you updates on what is happening in different African countries. And I wanted to still focus in Kenya. Remember this in terms of the terror activities, this is in Kenya. And I just want to move on and get to take a look at, what is also happening in the country. So we do have the 5G. The 5G is set to be launched in Kenya, and it is set to be launched by the biggest network company. I'm talking about Safaricom. Perhaps you've heard about Safaricom. This is one of the fastest networks that you do have in the country. If you happen to come to the 254, trust me, the fastest type of network that you need, the most conducive one, irrespective of where you are, you need to get to use that is the Safaricom. But one thing about this network is that it really gets to eat your bundles up. So let's say, for example, you've bought a 1 GB. Yeah, I understand you understand in terms of the internet packages. For example, you've bought a 1 GB worth of bundles, and you've just like maybe gone not even live, you just like checked a few images on Instagram or something like that. After 10 minutes, or rather, not even an hour, let's say even after 20 minutes or 30 minutes, they'll give you a warning. They'll send you a warning and be like, your data bundle is almost done. And that is 1 GB. You haven't even used it for 2 hours, as opposed to other networks. So of course, it is the fastest form of the network that you do have in the country. But then again, it is it is one of we call it it's more like a scam. This is the network that is owned by most of the politicians. Most politicians have merged with this company as one way of trying to control the people, because as a person, if you're getting quality network, if you're getting a quality services, trust me, you will still get to stick to that, irrespective of how they get to eat up your bundle. So 5G is here to shock Kenyans. Talk about 4G, talk about the speed that 4G has. Of course, I love fast internet, but I'm just like, a 5G is going to be crazy. I don't know about the internet, that is the type of internet that you do have in your country, but we have evolved from different types of internet, from the I think from the 3G, from the 2G, and here we are, and we're now going to 5G. But I can imagine the amount of money that people are going to spend, because this is going to be fast and crazy. And that is just an update regarding what is happening to Kenya. Remember, this is the Calmie African Direction right here on the Black Fire Network. Today it is easy day for all of us, and that is what we are all about right here, just giving you updates on what is happening. And feel free to interact with me. Today it's just not about the streets. And also remember, family, I had shown you some few cards that it's more like supporting our Tanzanian brothers and sisters. I think for $15, actually for $15 you get to get these cards, but I'm not selling them. Of course, I'm not selling them. I'm just showing you one type of a game that if you are into games, that is, if you are into games, you can get to try some of these cards, and they are just so African. Still on the cards, let me just show you a little bit before we get to proceed. This is still on the cards. If you can see, let me just put this correctly on your screen. This is more like the Maasai. This is more like what is with my camera? Okay, I think it's me who's not doing the right thing. Yes, there you are. This is more like the Maasai community. You remember, you do have the Maasai community in Tanzania and also in Kenya. This is still part of the cards. So you get to match as many of these as possible. You get to match either the wild animals, either the Maasai or something like that, and you get to be the winner. It's mind blowing. It's just something that I love to do whenever I am aboard. And moving on from that, remember, this is the Black Fire Network, media for the 21st century. And you can feel free to hit us up by simply logging onto www.blackfirenetwork.com. And once you are logged in, you can proceed and get to watch some of the videos. You can get to listen to other music, you can get to read the blogs, you can get to like these videos, share these videos. We also do get to appreciate that, because remember, on a daily basis we do have some information, that is some new information coming right your way, and we always got you covered in regards to that. And I just want to highlight on something. Regarding the updates. I think you've all been keen in terms of the leaders who actually were in attendance to the late Dr. Magufuli's death. That the majority of these leaders, they were out there giving praises to him. That a majority of these leaders, they were actually saying, as to some of the things that Magufuli has done for the people, in terms of Magufuli being a true Pan-Africanist leader, in terms of Magufuli not selling his people and so on, in terms of, for example, our own president was giving the speech, and I was looking at him, I'm like, okay, bruh, you need to come back to the country and do the same thing that you're doing. Because personally, we are going deep down as a country. We're going, of course, the wrong way as a country. And I'm just taking a look at these leaders. They're like, for example, our president was like, Magufuli has shown us that we as Africans, we do not need to depend on foreign countries for support and so on. Wait a minute. Isn't he the same man who has actually brought a lot of Chinese to the country, who has actually made sure that the taxes are increasing on a daily basis, because him and his family need to still be the leading? Isn't he the same man who has made sure that the price of oil is shooting up? Isn't he the same man who changed the economy of Kenya from, well, good to extremely work? So I just want to highlight on how some of these leaders, it's more like they were just so pretending when they were in Tanzania. They were all, giving him praises as if they didn't have all these entire decade. Let me use the word a decade, as if they didn't have this entire time for them to get to learn a thing or two from Magufuli, as if they have not been interacting with Magufuli to learn on how to lead Africa to stand on its own all this time. And when someone is dead is when they be like, oh, we learned a thing and so on. He taught us about how we can stand by ourselves as Africans. In Kenya right now, there's a place that is called Westlands. It is highly dominated by the Chinese right now, because they are trying to build a road. And yet it is the same Kenya, whereby we do have students in the engineering class. Personally, my brother did engineering, and he's like, hey, there are no jobs out here. And I could attest to the fact as to how he really suffered during exam times. The long hours he used to spend in his study, and I can say this is quite unfair. The type of hypocrisy displayed on the funeral is quite something on another level. Also, I did notice that a lot of East African community presidents were not in attendance. They say that whenever there is a burial, irrespective of what the two of you might have had, irrespective of maybe the clashes or so on, you need to find that time and go to that home and show them that you are together with them, and show them that indeed you supported what this man was fighting for when he was alive. The likes of the Rwandan president, I didn't see him there. Museveni, didn't even see Museveni there. I think I just saw Uhuru Kenyatta, and I think the others just sent their own. That is their own. I think they sent. Do we call them delegates? Let me just use the word delegates, of course, to represent them in that. So a lot is, or rather had happened in that burial, and I'm like, the type of pretense that is portrayed by our leaders. I did see the likes of Lazarus Chakwera, see the way his country is messed up. I did see a majority of, a lot of actually leaders all the way from, that is the Southern African Development Community. Actually did have 9 of them being there. But them being there, they didn't insist on the fact that they are trying to emulate a thing or two from what Magufuli taught these people. At Chosen 115, peace to you too, and Karibu Sana. K. Williams, you said, so Africa is getting a new internet system. Absolutely, we are getting a new internet system. That is the 5G is here. Of course, it is here. So be ready, be ready. We might be stepping on your head. We might be stepping on your head. Be ready, because we Africa are so used to some slow internet. But this internet is going to be quite expensive to actually manage. And K. Williams also say that yes, he is a hypocrite. Absolutely, he is a hypocrite, because the type of respect that he was showing, the type of the talk that he was giving out there to people, proving that he's that one leader who is ready to change Kenya. Let me tell you, Kenya, or rather in Swahili, you say Kenya that Kenya has just its own, Kenya ina wenyewe, that Kenya has just its own honors. That it's either you fight your way to be amongst the big fish, or you come to the hustle team and just be you. So the type of hypocrisy that was portrayed here is just quite something. And irrespective of whether who attended or who did not attend, African leaders need to learn a thing from Magufuli, not using the hashtag Magufuli and coming back to their home and still getting to mistreat their people and still getting to be puppets. Because if we do not have a leader who's going to try to emulate Magufuli, then there it is. Africa will still be there. Because we also how Tanzania was. We also that Magufuli was that man who would come to your work premises, and take a look if you are indeed doing that project, and take a look if you are indeed sticking to the budget that you gave the government, and failure to do so, you were fired. In Swahili we say kupigwa kalamu. Kupigwa kalamu. Kalamu is a pen. This is a pen. Kalamu is a pen. So we say kupigwa kalamu. Kupigwa kalamu means being fired in Swahili. There's no leader that is going to be the same as that great man. Every day, I understand that it also affected you. I remember Keith also told me yesterday that it also did get to affect him. So I can imagine the number of people who were affected both in Africa and in the diaspora at large, that this man, whether you chose to hate him or like him, he really was a step way ahead in terms of protecting his people. And they said all those leaders are puppets controlled by the West. Absolutely. Starting from our very own. Kenya is sold. We might wake up tomorrow and realize that we are now under the Chinese government. What will you do? We have no alternative. because we are indebted. We do have a lot of debts that are actually surrounding us. Remember, I'm just giving you updates on what is happening, and I really appreciate you at K Williams for taking your time and joining me here. I also appreciate everyone who's tuned in at Chosen 115, at Ricardo Bradford. I appreciate at our Black Fire Network Pan African TV. I also appreciate you for tuning in. And to those who are watching and listening, remember this is the Calmie African Diary Show right here on the Black Hot Fire Network Media. For the 21st century, and today I'm just basically giving you updates. I'm just indoors, I'm just all indoors giving you updates on what is happening. So feel free to be interactive with me as possible. Also remember to log onto our www.blackhotfirenetwork.com, and once you are logged in, you can proceed and get to like some of the videos. You can share some of the videos. You can also proceed and sorry, you can also proceed and get to that is to support the stream by contributing at www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. Remember, I'm just giving you updates on what is happening, and you know, we say that we just keep on wishing for the best. And let me just read this comment. K Williams has said, I hope Tanzania do not go backwards now that he is gone. That is also the stress that I am having. I hope that Samia Suluhu will not be bought. I hope that she will continue with what Magufuli started. I hope that Samia Suluhu will make sure that the economy of Tanzania still remains to be the same. I hope that Samia Suluhu will not sell her people, because right now all eyes are on her. And being a leader is not quite easy. We all know that, especially being a female leader, considering that there has been, you know, the world is also slowly trying, you know, to like evolve in terms of understanding that women can also do it in leadership. So all eyes are on her. So of course, Kay Williams, I'm also with you. I just hope that she will get to deliver what is required of her. And just moving on from that, there's this incident that is happening. You know, we all know that sometime back, tomorrow I'll actually get to share this video, just because on my device I cannot be able to share the video, but tomorrow I'll get to share with you the video. I'll just I'll just be able to share with you the videos. You say all right, Kevin, so say that, Calmie, goodbye, take care to you. Take care too. Understand that you are quite busy at work, because this is in the morning. And tomorrow, just get to share with you some video of what is trending around in the country. The fact that you do have the police actually mistreating some of the hawkers. You know, hawking is just quite a thing in different African countries. Perhaps you can tell me if in your country you also do get to interact with hawkers. But go to Tanzania, go to Rwanda, it wasn't that much, but go to Tanzania, go to Nigeria, come to Kenya, go to Malawi, go to different African countries. A majority of them, hawking is the way forward. And for you to go out there and hawk, it means that you do not want to end up stealing from people. It means that you are out there trying to put $1 in your pocket, such that come in the evening, when you get to go back home to your kids, that they will be able to eat a proper meal or a balanced meal. And I have seen these women in town with their kids, sometimes breastfeeding their kids. And they have paraded their goods. Sometimes they get to move from one location to another. Or sometimes they just get to sit on one spot on the ground. Remember, this is in the CBD, that is in the town, on the ground. You can imagine how dirty it can be at sometimes, especially if it's raining. So they get to parade their goods. It could be agricultural products, it could be clothes, it could be utensils, just anything that will attract their customers. They get to parade their goods and wait patiently for someone to buy. Remember, this is a mother that has a child. Either the child is breastfeeding, or the child is just there, you know, trying to play and so on. So they have to be keen so that their child does not get snatched away. They also have to be keen that the kanjos, we call them the kanjos, or rather the policemen, do not get to arrest them. Because once you are arrested, there is a penalty for you. And it has saddened me, the number of times that I have seen these police officers even going ahead and beating these women up because they're like they are overcrowding the CBD. I have seen the number of times their goods got to be taken away from them and are thrown into the city council's vehicles to be taken to the police station. And it is upon them to either follow their good or get to count losses. Now, this is one person who is not staying comfortable in their house. This is one person who is trying their best to ensure that their kid or them as an adult, they can be able to live life better rather than waiting for you in the evening when you're coming from work to mug you. So as if the government does not appreciate hustle, they get to bundle these women up. Sometimes it's both men and women, but most of the time I get to see that it is the women who are selling the likes of onions, tomatoes, cooking, that is utensils, different types of kitchenware, different types of clothing. And it hurts me that they get to be whipped, their products get to be taken from them, and yet they're there innocently trying to help themselves. So this incident happened in Kenya, whereby a lady was selling oranges and lemons. And even before she could, you get the life of a hawker is quite tricky. Sometimes you get to maybe if you're selling that is on in terms of traffic, because most of the time I get to see them on the traffic selling. So perhaps sometimes if you are selling, some customers might shout at you. Some customers might, disregard you, thinking that, oh, perhaps you didn't go to school, or thinking that, oh, perhaps you stole these products to come sell them. No, there's just a lot of discrimination regarding the hawkers that do get to parade their goods. So this lady actually was selling her lemons and oranges on the streets, and these kanjos actually got to bundle her up. And the reason as to why I'm just sharing this story, I'll just say that tomorrow I'll be able to share that video once I get to hit the studio. The reason as to why I am sharing this story is because for a fact that they took her goods because she wasn't able to pay them the bribe that they were asking. Because most of the time they just get your goods, either take you to the police station or you pay them a bribe, and that is it. So because she was not able to pay her bribe, I mean the bribe that was asked of her, trust me, they wrapped her on one side of the car and they were driving with her clinging to one side of the car. It's more like when you tie a rope on the car and you tie someone and now you drag them while driving. For example, most of the time this gets to happen to when someone has stolen something. They get to tie you on a car and then drive to teach you a lesson. But most of the time you do not get to even survive to give a story. So this lady was tied on one side of the car and they were driving roughly. So from the disturbing video or from the images, I could see her kitamba. Kitamba is just a wrap. Her wrap was torn. She was injured on the arms. And, thanks to social media, I can say that social media has really tried to help solve a lot of our problems. So thanks to social media, that when this video is posted, that's as much as people have ranted on Twitter, still no justice is forthcoming. That what they've actually done is this. What they've actually done is this. They've actually taken this lady, given her a stall such that she can't be able to be selling her products. They've just they've actually PR'd the entire thing. So I'm just wondering, instead of giving a solution, instead of trying to make it bring justice, that is in terms of firing either these officers who are involved, in terms of ensuring that this lady gets justice, no one is doing that. Instead, it has been turned to be an entire PR. So of course I'll get to share that video tomorrow. I know getting to explain it is it's going to become quite hectic, but I just get to share that video tomorrow. And just also want to highlight before I even get to show you my surrounding, before I get to show you my surrounding, because I'm just indoors, I'll get to show you my surrounding before we get to end the show. In Botswana right now, we are having a crisis in Botswana, that is in terms of the number of elephants that are dying. Recently, we did have, back from last year till now, the number keeps increasing. Now we do have 330 elephants dead. And the last time there was a debate as to whether these elephants were consuming something that has cyanide in them. I mean, it was believed that the water had cyanide, but now they are denying the allegations. They've also denied the allegations that it might be a bacteria. It is not a bacterium, because other wildlife are not affected by the same. And I'm just wondering, poaching is on the real, because this is more like poaching. You cannot tell me that an entire government, that one elephant dies, 3 elephants dies to the number that it gets to reach 330, and the number can be more than that. That you are not doing the proper research to determine what is the cause of these elephants' deaths. So something is not good in terms of the wildlife system in Botswana. Something is just not right. Perhaps a prominent leader knows what they are doing. A prominent leader knows what they are basically doing in Botswana, and that's a result we are saying that if Botswana is actually not keen, they will lose its actually its a national heritage in terms of the wildlife. If Botswana is not keen at all, that's why I'm saying that if it had acted earlier on, when they did have even 4 elephants dead, right now we do have 330 elephants. So you can imagine how messed up the tourism sector in Botswana is. I mean, there's just a lot that is not being told to the people. That is in terms of what is happening to Botswana. And as we get to wind up, because I'm just almost showing you this is a trip around, of course, a trip around, but just showing you the surroundings. If you're not keen, that is, if Botswana is not keen, trust me, it is going to simply lose its heritage. It is going not to have a wildlife anymore. Remember, Africa, we are so rich in terms of the wildlife, and they get to put us on the map. Even from the cards that I've shown you all the way from Tanzania, they also do have the wildlife in them to show us that this is a representation of our heritage. And last but not least, there is this a bit of a situation in the Tigray region, whereby police officers, not police officers, army officers actually have been killing people. Instead of the army officers protecting the people, protecting the civilians from the attacks from the militants, they are instead killing the civilians. Is help really going to come to the people in Tigray region? Because from this story that I'm telling you, this is from the eyewitnesses in the Tigray region, who actually said that they were traveling in a minibus, some of them in buses, and the men got to be put aside, the women got to be put aside, and the women were actually told to walk away, while the men was shot and killed, definitely killed, because as a man you wouldn't be left to live to tell the society what really happened. So you can imagine that this time around it's not only the women who are being affected. Let's not even talk about the rape of the women and the children, but let's talk about the men being brutally killed for a war that they know nothing about. That is the situation in the Tigray region. And we do have Abiy Ahmed. Abiy Ahmed received a Nobel Prize, a peace Nobel Prize. Which type of peace has Abiy Ahmed given the people of Ethiopia? In the Tigray region, especially. Because I understand that some parts of Ethiopia, they're not affected by this war. The elites are not affected by this war. But those in the Tigray region and so on are affected. So the man was shot, and we do have Abiy Ahmed coming forward, and he's like, the army officers who are actually will actually be held responsible for this. No one is going to hold anyone responsible. If anything, before you get to commit a crime, most of the time, the order comes from the above. So there is war that is going on in Ethiopia. As much as different news might tell you that the people in Ethiopia are safe and sound, trust me, our Ethiopian brothers in the Tigray region are suffering and wishing for a better future. And let me just know your view regarding that. Let me just proceed and get to show you some little bit of my surrounding. It's just in terms of housing, I do understand that you do have different types of housings. I'm just going to show you like at the rooftop and the outside. Yeah, that is just how it is as we get to almost wind up the show. Remember, this is the Calmie African Diary Show right here on the Black Hot Fire Network. Let's just go. All right, here we are. I'm just outside my balcony. You said all right, Black Hot Fire said, so did Obama. Exactly. We just get these people receiving the Nobel Prize for nothing. That is the Peace Nobel Prize for nothing. And they are absolutely not doing anything for the people. Abiy Ahmed is really, really messing up Ethiopia. Things are not just quite good in Ethiopia. Well, it's sunny. It's very sunny. That is my view. There's just a lot of construction taking place. Can you see? I'm just showing. You see, there's just a lot of housings there. It's a really silent neighborhood actually. Apart from the welders there welding. But apart from that, it's a really, really a silent neighborhood. There's just not a lot of noise around here. As opposed to the students' residence. This is not a student's residence. The sun is high. Whew, it's absolutely very sunny. Let me just get to go to the rooftop. Whew. Lot of CCTVs installed around here, around my apartment. So if you steal, you cannot steal no more. You can tell from that, did I? Okay, just get show you the other one. Phew. The stairs are hectic. It's 4 floors. Each floor is each floor has a CCTV camera. So yes, you cannot steal, irrespective of how your hands are itching for you to steal. You cannot steal. Phew. You can see there's a CCTV over there. Over there, yeah. So this is where we actually air our clothes. Welcome to Africa. Let me show you. This is actually where we get to air our clothes. In Africa, we wash our clothes and air them. I understand that you guys in your country, you get to use the washing machines and the dryers. But here is you have to either do it manually, but if you have a washing machine, well and good, you can wash but still air them outside. That is just how it is out here. You can see there's some construction ongoing down there. Still, you can see some clothes behind me. We wash and we hang them outside. If it was another apartment, trust me, you'll be out there guarding your clothes. But here, there's no one who's going to steal them simply because of the CCTV cameras. I believe the management here is yeah, the management here is quite so good. So nobody's just going to like come to steal your clothes. Your clothes can stay actually out here for the longest time possible, and nobody's going to steal. That is still how it is. Just get to wash and air them. It's quite easy up here. This is on the fifth floor. You can see there's just a lot of. It's a very calm neighborhood. It's a very calm neighborhood. You can see there's some constructions ongoing. Some are just ready to be completed. There's just a lot of housing actually in this particular area. That is my view. Most of the time, that is just my view. But thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in to the Calmie African Diary Show. It has just all been about African updates. It's just all been about what is happening around different African countries. And it's just an easy day for me. Like I've told you, it's just an easy day for me. So just gotta chill around because that is what I needed for today, considering that tomorrow is my birthday. So I just need some good, easy time. But I appreciate those who have tuned in and those who might have missed the show. Remember, you can't simply get to log on to www.blackwatfirenetwork.com. And once you are logged in, you can proceed, get to watch some of these videos. You can also proceed, get to like these videos, like and subscribe. Some of these videos we also do get to appreciate that one very much. You can also proceed and get that is to listen to the music that gets to play right live on the Blackwood Fire Network. You can, music is just something that gets to keep you going. Music is just something that gets to keep you motivated, and you need definitely some motivation coming right away. Also, you can get to read some of the blogs that are lined up there on the Blackwood Fire Network. We also do get to appreciate that. Remember, there's just a lot of reading materials that you can get to bump into. And the last but not least, you can also get to support the stream. We also appreciate that you can get to donate to support the stream. We also do appreciate that. And remember, of course, the Tanzanian trip that is set to take place. I've just showed you I've just showed you some of my souvenirs that I got from different coastal towns, and trust me, I'm just looking forward to more and more of this. I keep it the Black Fire Network, and I appreciate of course, I appreciate Ricardo Bradford. I appreciate you for tuning in. I appreciate also at Kay Williams at Black Hot Fire Network, Pan African, we appreciate you. Chosen 115, we really appreciate you. Thank you, everyone who actually did take the time to tune in to join me here. And of course, there's just a lot of new activities that we will be doing together right on this platform. And I appreciate ArtKit for providing this platform because we are on a daily basis, we get to learn a thing or two. Thank you so much once more to everyone who did get to tune in. And this is the Calmie African Diary Show right here on the Black Hot Fire Network. Remember, you do get to interact every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on the Black Hot Fire Network. I can't even see myself now. The sun is too hot. We get to appreciate every Monday. We get to interact, sorry, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on the Black Hot Fire Network. We also do have other shows as well: the Calmie African Diary Show, Voices of the Motherland Show, 54 Correspondent Show, the African Today Show. The shows, the numbers just are quite a lot that I can't get to mention. Thank you so much, and do have a great day. Do have a good morning ahead. Remember to keep the vibration high. Remember to always stick to you being yourself. Thank you, Sana. Thank you sana. Let me say asanteni sana na nashukuru sana kwa kuniunga katika kipindi hichi cha Calmie African Diary Show.